What is up, YouTube? Hope all has been well with you guys. Today we're going to be going into what I think are the 7 best drift cars that you can build. Now if you like these kinds of videos, drop a like and sub to the channel, and with that out of the way, let's just get into the video. Now this car is great for drifting, but the reason it comes in at the number 7 spot is because these cars are becoming more expensive with time and becoming harder to find. The car I'm talking about is the Nissan 240SX. Now don't get me wrong, you can find a Nissan 240SX for relatively cheap, maybe 6, 7, 8 grand, but it's probably not going to be in the greatest shape. And for a starter drift car, spending close to 10 grand on the car is probably not ideal for building it either. However, despite all of this, it's a great option as a drift car, as this car comes with a 2.4 liter inline 4 that produces 155 horsepower, and it's a legendary drift car in the drift community. There's been many different builds, and its popularity is pretty much caused by the fact that it is a well-balanced chassis that comes with a long wheelbase, making it easier to drift, and the car has a ton of aftermarket support as well. At the number 6 spot, we have the Mazda Rx8. Now, I put this car on this list to strictly be a drift car or a weekend track car because as a daily driver, this car seems to cause a lot of problems, and so that's why I think it'll be the perfect drift car if you use it on the weekends or as a drift car. This car comes with a 2-rotor rotary engine that makes 238 horsepower, so it does deliver enough power to be a drift car. But what caused me to put this car so high on the list is that its reliability issues with the engine specifically tends to have like a lot of problems, and especially when the car takes a beating. So since you're drifting this thing and you want to maybe work on a car, this car can be good for you if you feel like you're mechanically inclined to work on a car and challenge your mechanic skills really. Next on the list, coming in at the number 5 spot, is the Sn95 Mustang, the sports car that can do almost anything from rally racing to drag racing to being used as a daily to even being used as a drift car. This versatile coupe comes with a 3.8 liter V6 or 5 liter V8 depending on which one you got. And this generation of Mustangs are just really good for drifting because they are one of the lightest Mustangs ever made. The chassis are built with a wider track, longer control arms, and 4-wheel disc brakes, giving you a good start for using it as a drift build. Moreover, this car is almost 30 years old, so aftermarket parts are not a problem, and so you should be able to find what you want and need. Overall, the Sn95 Mustang is a good solid starter as a drift car. At the number 4 spot, we have the Nissan 350Z. Now, the Nissan 350Z is a great drift platform, especially if you're getting started in the drift scene. It is a powerful car that can take quite the beating, and so this means if you drift the car, or if you can drift the car, you don't have to worry about damaging the car since they're very strong cars and are meant to handle, taking that beating. The 350Z comes with a 3.5 liter V6 engine called the VQ35DE, and depending which year you get this car or which year it is, it will produce anywhere from 287 horsepower to 309 horsepower. Moreover, this car comes out with like a ton of aftermarket support parts, so finding parts and working on this car won't be difficult, and the community out there is very helpful, so if you do run into any problems, you know where to go for help. We've all seen this pick coming sooner or later, the Mazda Miata coming in at the number 3 spot. One of the best starter drift cars for beginners. With its 50-50 weight distribution, this car makes a great drift car because the weight is distributed evenly across all 4 wheels. Additionally, this car comes with a lot of engine space, and people have pretty much swapped anything into this car. Stock, this car comes with a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 128 horsepower, and the MP Miata comes with a similar engine that produces a little bit more horsepower. Another reason to pick this car up is like with most cars on this list, they come with a ton of aftermarket support parts, so building this car shouldn't be a huge problem. And so many people who've built this car or have had a Project Miata. The community out there is so helpful that even if you do run into a problem, you will be able to find help. At the number 2 spot, we have the Lexus IS300. Now, if you want a car that's a bit of a project, then the Lexus IS300 is a great choice, and chances are, if you're building a drift car, you want a car that's a project. Now, when looking for this car, it was hard to find one with a manual under 10K, but you can find one with an automatic under like 6 grand, and so this makes it a perfect project car because all you have to do is manual swap it, and once that's done, it becomes a really good drift car. The engine it comes with is a 3-liter 2JZ engine, which is the same one from the Toyota Supra but non-turbo. It produces 217 horsepower, and since it's the same engine from the Supra, tuning and getting parts for this engine like turbos, etc., for this car will be generally and fairly easy. Furthermore, this car just looks so cool and is one of the best Lexuses in the IS trim. I think they're one of the best looking cars on this list. They have a close 50-50 weight distribution. They're reliable and as well durable. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the BMW E46. Do I have to say more? I don't think so, but I'm gonna. The BMW E46 is a lightweight chassis with great handling and power, making it a very good beginner-friendly drift car. Just think about all the times you've seen a drift build. A lot of them are BMWs, and BMW is really good at making powerful cars with great handling. Those of the E30, E36, E46, E92 models are great examples of that. This car, the BMW E46, has a 50-50 weight distribution, which again is important for drifting, as we keep mentioning, as we want to keep those rear wheels gripping the ground on the turns without spinning out. These cars are also one of the more reliable BMWs, which is why I put it at the number 1 spot, because, you know, it's kind of rare. You don't find a reliable BMW anymore. And so this can help you save a couple hundred or even thousands of dollars on repairs. And if you do need to find aftermarket support parts, which you probably will if you want to mod this thing and build it, there's a ton of aftermarket support parts available, as it's one of the most popular choices of cars when it comes to drifting. So those are the 7 cars that I think are great drift cars that you can build, and even build on a budget if you wanted to. Just so you guys know, this is my opinion, and so if you think otherwise, then let me know down in the comments below. I'm always open to hearing you guys' thoughts. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like and sub to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.